أوكي. أهلا وسهلا فيكم جميعا ورمضان كريم. إحنا مبسوطين نكون معاكم مرة تانية بجوستم سبوتلايت سيريز، وهاي المرة رح تكون ضيفتنا دكتورة هالة زريقات. دكتورة هالة هي بروفيسور في جامعة سيدني في أستراليا في مجال الهندسة الطبية، وهي حاصلة على عدة جوائز عالمية وعلى مستوى الأردن. إلها عدة براءات اختراع، وهي مسؤولة عن ريسيرش لاب في علم الهندسة الطبية في الجامعة برضه، فبنحب نرحب فيها. أهلا وسهلا فيك دكتورة.
أهلا فيكم.
شكرا تالا. دكتورة، أول سؤال بنحب نسألك إياه، إذا بتقدري تخبرينا أكثر عن قصة نجاحك من انطلاقاتك الأولى في مجال البايوميديكال انجينيرينج من الأردن ولحد ما انتقلتي إلى أستراليا.
Thank you كثير فرح وتالا على هاي المقابلة، وشكرا لكل المستمعين. يعني it's an honor to be with you. So أنا درست بالأردن بالجامعة الأردنية medical sciences, and then because my studies were sponsored by fellowships from the Jordanian Army, I had to work at King Hussein Medical Center, Queen Alia Heart Institute, which is the best place you could work in Jordan at the time. But I could. The problem is, while I had brilliant career there, but I couldn't see future beyond 5 or 10 years. And the lucky thing is I was raised by wonderful, wise parents who didn't try to tell me what I should do with my life, but rather encouraged me to follow my heart. And I'm sure many of you have friends and family who encourage you all the way through, particularly that I know Farah and Tala now. But the most important thing is, as you pursue a career in your chosen field, is to find the passion in you, within yourself, for that career. So I've always loved medical research. We, of course, don't have medical research. We did not have medical research in Jordan at the time. So I looked ahead to what I could achieve. I landed a secure job, as I said, in Jordan, but quickly realized that opportunities were quite limited in the Middle East. Again, I'm talking about my time. Maybe it's different now. So I looked elsewhere. Australia seemed like an attractive place. Why? Because, again, I'm talking about... Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Shall I carry on, or you ask me a question?
No, continue.
Okay, so Australia seemed to be like a nice place. Of course, I was terribly worried about going to the other side of the world, not knowing anybody, leaving all the friends and the family, but I knew I had to follow the dream. And fortunately, I had the full support of my parents, who never told me what I should do with my life. Well, when I first arrived in Australia, I discovered it was not easy to fulfill my dream. To get there, I had to get my priorities right. First of all, if anybody says, what's your name? I'll have to say H-A-L-A, let alone the surname. So I was a total stranger in a land I've never been in before. So I asked myself, have I migrated all the way to Australia and left everything behind to be in a far lesser quality career? Am I after the money, the status, the respect, or combination of three? Now, I know that my career in Jordan, as I said earlier, had given me the status and respect, but the one thing it did not give me is my ability to pursue my dream and passion, and that's why I migrated all the way to this lucky country of Australia. So here is the first lesson, is you really have to listen to your heart. You have to listen to what you really would like to do in your life and pursue it. The road will be extremely hard to get there, but if you pursue it, that will be great. And I knew I wanted to do medical research. So another thing is, while I landed in this strange country, I did not just sit there. I remember landed on a Thursday. It was a long weekend in Australia. It was Labor Day, I think. Tuesday, I had my first job interview. And while I was offered that job, but it wasn't what I wanted. It was in a medical center. Yes, it pays money, but I'm not there for the money. As I said, I wanted something different. So to do that, I actually went and knocked at doors at universities, and I started with being from the biomedical background. I went to the immunology, علم المناعة يعني بالجامعة. So I knocked at the door and I offered to do voluntary work, and to cut a long story short, I ended up having a paid job position on that Monday. So that was Friday. On the Monday, I had a paid position, because it so happened that the people I knocked the door, their door, she was the administrative officer of the professor who ran that department. And they were good friends of another professor in the pathology. They had dinner with him on that Saturday and mentioned my name, and he wanted to have somebody to work with him. And I started my career on Monday. So pursue what you want. Don't sit and wait for things to come your way. You really need to find the way to get to these things. Did this answer your question?
Yes. Impressive start to our conversation. And we look forward to hear more about your research and how did you go from the basic science into the depths of the field you are in right now. But before that, I would like to quickly ask you another question. كان لك دراسات ودرستي واشتغلتي في مجال الأبحاث في عدة دول، بفترة قليلة بفرنسا، بهارفارد حاليا، في ألمانيا وفي أستراليا وأكيد بالأردن. شو فرق معاكي التدريس والأبحاث مع اختلاف البلد اللي أنت فيه ومع اختلاف النظام التعليمي؟ هل ساعدك إنك تتعرفي على أكثر من بلد وأكثر من ريسيرش جروب؟ كيف شفت الفروقات وكيف استغلتي هالفروقات عشان تاخدي الأحسن من كل نظام تعليمي؟
So بالأردن أنا درست ما درست بالأردن. What I do is when I go to Jordan بروح بعمل محاضرات بالمدارس. I asked to do so لأنه كتير بحب to interact مع the students, undergraduates and also universities. And the fire that comes out from these students are amazing. So كله بحب يتعلم وكله بده the best quality education they can get their hand on. You two are an example. هلا لما the first experience or the first difference I saw when I went to Australia is that the societies there and here at Harvard, they encourage critical thinking. We don't follow the books and the exams, and of course there are exams. In fact, I teach 3 courses in Australia, and from next year I'm going to delete all the exams. So far, my exams were open books exams. I really myself don't remember a thing of what I studied at the university. And I think it's all about now interaction, interdisciplinary interaction, us speaking the language of the other disciplines to be able to promote what we do best. And that's where all the research, all the teaching, schooling now are heading to, rather than being confined to the classical teaching, which is very, very important. We all need that, but we don't need to just concentrate on that. We need to evolve and interact with each other. Hence, the biomedical engineering was established. And I think it was established back in 2005. And I did the first tissue engineering lab and principles of tissue engineering at the University of Sydney in 2006. Before that, there used to be what's called bioengineering, taught as part of medicine, mathematics, but it never was a standalone enough subjects to have its own discipline. Not until 2006. And now, as you would know, I'm now establishing courses where I'll have artists, lawyers, designers part of it. My lab, it consists of chemical engineers, material scientists, medical doctors, cell and molecular biologists. And in fact, this was highlighted here at Harvard last year when they featured our work in their magazine, indicating that we were the first to establish this multidisciplinary lab at the University of Sydney. To to highlight the importance of interdisciplinary teaching, the critical thinking, and the so that's where I think the new teaching is heading. And I'd like to see that in Jordan or in the Middle East, as soon as possible taking place. And I think it's our job to try and help with this, to go back and try and help implement these ideas and thinking.
Very, very inspiring. بتصير تحكي لنا شوي أكثر عن what type of research do you do? So just very briefly.
Yeah, so as I said, somehow I was always excited about medical research. And that first job I got at the University of New South Wales was in the field of biomedical engineering, and I found I love it very much. So my PhD was in taking the metal implants. I'm sure you know somebody who has a hip or knee replacement or a dental implant. So, but metal cannot. Metal is there to repair damage, but it does not regenerate. So the idea then that occurred to me after my PhD is, if my career kicks off and I'm successful in obtaining funding from the government, is to try and look for ways that we can develop materials that can help regenerate the bone rather than repair it, because repair will ultimately fail. Regenerate is regenerate forever. And this is what we set out to do. So we looked at the skeleton. So my work is in the area of the bone. So we looked at the skeleton. What is it made of? We know it's made of trace elements, ions like magnesium, strontium, and zinc. So what we did, and calcium, of course. So we take the base material as calcium silicate, which is like China, the glass of China, the cup of China. And what we did, we started adding to it elements that we know will help in building new bone. And we were very successful in bringing a material to the field that not only has the biological aspects that will encourage the regeneration of the bone, but most importantly, it had the mechanical properties that will also support the growth of bone tissue, because our skeleton is always under load, even our teeth here. So if a material is not strong enough, it will collapse and will not be there for enough time to help build the new bone. So this is what we do.
Very nice. كثير حلو. كان عندي كمان سؤال صح؟
Yes. دكتورة أنت أسستي society اسمها Ideal. Ideal هي acronym ل Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, Action and Leadership بالإنجليزي بجامعة هارفارد. تحكي لنا شوي عن السوسايتي هاي وكيف من خلالها عم بيكون في inclusion لمجموعة أكبر وتعددية أكثر في مجال الستم.
Yeah, thank you for this question. Sorry?
Before that, can you also tell us what problem is Ideal trying to solve?
In the science or in the ideal society?
What in the ideal society?
In the ideal society.
So what is the problem?
Oh, I see.
What is ideal? Yeah.
Well, it's okay. So it's a really large vision. And when I started talking about that last year, while I was here at Radcliffe at Harvard University, everybody goes, well, this is really big. And I'm going, well, we are in a big institution. We have to think big. And so the idea is, I come from Jordan, as you know, and in an undeveloped country, going to developed countries, and of course, number one institution in the one of the number one institutions in the world. You think that there is far more advancement than anywhere else, which maybe there is, but there is still innate issues in discrimination, women against men, women trying to get to the top and not reaching there. And I thought something must happen. And because we have different countries, so the idea here is to get people not only from my discipline, which is STEM, science, engineering, and medicine, but also across the globe. So across the disciplines and worldwide. So the idea here is, can we work together, put our forces, knowledge, and expertise together to see in the next 20, 30 years, can we then find a society that has transformed from what we are right now? Yes, we have come a long way in terms of women in the workforce and everything. What is there that's stopping us from really reaching out to where we should be? There are still differences in salaries. There are still differences in getting to the top, in the CEO, in the leadership, in the innovation. And what is it? So we're trying to understand that, and the program will be posted on the web tomorrow of what we will discuss. And we're meeting Monday and Tuesday to launch this network. We have United Nations involved. We have people coming from Africa to it. And what's really important to me is everybody came to Harvard here, self-sponsored. I did not pay 1 single cent to bring anybody here. And that again shows you how important this subject is and how important that we all work together towards the goal of progressing the society and not thinking of ourself and just only right now, right this minute.
Very nice. Thank you. Hala, I think is what do you think, what is your advice for students like us أو لناس بعمرنا بالأردن أو مش بالأردن عشان نساعد بهاي الفيجن تاعت diversity و inclusion؟ إيش ممكن يعني؟
I would love all of you to be involved, and that's my dream if you can be involved, because I'm relying on you. You're the next generation. You're the people who can think. You're the people who really can take risks. Because we know more than you, so you don't care. You just have to take the risk and go and do it. And I would, if you give me 2 days so that we can come up with an agenda of how we want to start working globally, and shall I then connect through you and you disseminate this to your community? Is that the way forward? And anybody who wants to be involved, please ask all the audiences to go to the website. I don't know if you can share it with them. And you can see there is people there. What I would love it if you can go to where there is a section that's called stories. You can see 2 stories posted, one from a professor from Europe and the other one from Harvard. More stories populated, the better it is, because we can only affect each other by real life stories. Stories that impacted us as women in any field or any walks of life. And I would love it if you can encourage that to happen. Your audiences, if I'm sure they can hear me, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are, but I would love to connect with each and every one of you and have you all involved in there and help us get this mission to where we need it to be.
Excellent. يعني الصراحة قصتك أنت قصة نجاح تلهمنا كلنا إحنا. It's one of those impactful stories that we would like to hear more of, and I'd like to thank you on behalf of all of JOSTEM members. And this was very helpful. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you حبيبتي.
إذا بدك أي شيء منا بأي وقت please let us know. تالا عندك أي آخر أسئلة لدكتورة هالة؟
لا، أنا بس بدي أشكرها على يعني الوقت اللي أعطتنا إياه والconversation اللي سريع وبريف بس كتير مفيد. أكيد رح نضل على تواصل معك دكتورة، ورح يكون لنا لقاءات ثانية معك عشان نسمع أكثر عن تفاصيل الريسيرش وكل الانيشيتيفز اللي عم بتسويها. Thank you again for everything that you're doing. We're so proud to have a role model like you.
Thank you, Habibti. I'm very proud of you. Thank you both for doing this initiative. I didn't do any of that stuff when I was your age, so you are to be commended on that. And I'm happy to work with you, and I need to work with you to progress the ideal society and to work closely together. Yeah?
Sounds great.
Sure thing.
Okay. All right, Habibti.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.